So Trisha, the way she's styled, anyone can carry those clothes off. Anyone will look beautiful and simple and elegant in those clothes. We weren't trying to create a look which is going to blow people's mind in terms of, wow, what a lovely costume. That wasn't the intention over here at all. As simple as a white cloth, she will make it look very beautiful. She'll work her magic. So of course Trisha made my job very easy, and even when we were giving her really simple ordinary clothes to wear, she was just making it look so grand and beautiful.
The Kashmir and all, how challenging it was.
And then I packed the bags and I sent Trisha and my team away. So I had two wonderful girls, Malini and Harshini, who were on the road with Trisha. They were in the Kashmir schedule with Trisha. She patiently sat there for so many hours while we tried different hairstyles to get the correct contour. We really put in lot many hours. We were trying to put jewelry. We were trying to put a rope and keep it standing up. We were trying to, from the side take it up, from the back take it up. It was going on falling. So we really spent a lot of time trying to get her hairstyle right.
It's Police 1 and 2. So could you just tell me about the whole experience? How did you got the opportunity and everything?
Working with Manisa was a dream, and the dream came true very early in my life. When I worked on Ravana, my only dream was that one day I want to be a costume designer in Manisa's film. In a film like Onion Selvan, where there is a lot of imagination of the people, of the audiences already, it's really important for a costume designer to give what the people are already expecting.
எல்லாருக்கும் வணக்கம். இன்னைக்கு நம்ம கூட காஸ்டியூம் டிசைனர் Eka Lakhani அவர்கள் இருக்காங்க. She is one of the most beautiful and talented Indian fashion costume designer. Hi ma'am, how are you?
Hi, Marshall. I'm very well. Thank you.
Now I know I just wanted to ask about the film Leo. Of course, it's in the theaters right now. People are just loving it, and also we have the pan-Indian stars like Sanju Dada is there in the film. Like how people are receiving out there the film, like it's going good. Have you watched the film first?
I have watched the film. I really enjoyed the film. I love the film.
And what about the audience there? People are liking it?
I don't know about the audiences on a whole, but I know that every time I tell people I have done Leo, they're like, "Oh my God, you've done Leo!" So I'm getting I just by the reaction of the people in Bombay, by the fact that I've done Leo, I feel like, wow, I've done a great job. So I know that the excitement for every Lokesh's film is really huge over here. He has a lot of love of all the audiences from Bombay, from Bollywood, and I feel that when I signed the film by itself, so many people were congratulating me that I realized that, okay, I've done a good thing by doing this film. And I'm really excited and thrilled that I could be a part.
And when you signed the film and you had a conversation with Lokesh Kanagaraj, of course the director of the film, did he give the insights for the character of the Trisha ma'am's character, that it has to be like this, or some insights? Did you guys have a discussion about that? Like he was very particular about the things, or what? Like how is his working style?
So how I work with all my directors is the same way how this conversation had gone, and Lokesh told me what he's expecting of Trisha's character, how he feels, how earthy she should be, how loving and warm she should look. What kind of fabrics or textures kind of work in it. She should look. There are lots of winter layers. So we kind of understood what her daily activities would be like. She's more seen in the house. These what would she be wearing where she looks comfortable also, she doesn't feel cold also, but at the same time it doesn't look like she's over layered.
Yeah.
Very approachable and real, relatable and realism that he wanted the character to have. So Trisha, the way she's styled, anyone can carry those clothes off. Anyone will look beautiful and simple and elegant in those clothes. We weren't trying to create a look which is going to blow people's mind in terms of, wow, what a lovely costume. That wasn't the intention over here at all. The intention was that the costume should be so seamless that it almost goes unnoticed. And if that's what happened, then that means I've done a good job. That's what I realized right in the beginning of the film. And that's what we've tried to do. So yes, when Trisha looks very good, she looks beautiful, her clothes look aesthetically nice. It doesn't look too forced. It doesn't look like she was woken up in the morning and there were she spent the next half an hour just trying to decide what she's wearing. It looks like she's pulled out a few clothes from
Yeah.
a wardrobe, and it's very refreshing, and it's very approachable. That's what I felt about the character, and that's what we've tried to do.
So as you said, it was quite rooted only, and also there is a limitation. She's also lead role, but she's also a mother of two kids, and we also have some kissing scenes as well. She should not look very mature also, or not very thing also. It's quite challenging, and I really like the thing, like as the audience perspective. So
Trisha is so beautiful, and her way of carrying everything is so nice and simple that even if you give her something as simple as a white cloth, she will make it look very beautiful. She'll work her magic. So, of course, Trisha made my job very easy. And even when we were giving her really simple, ordinary clothes to wear, she was just making it look so grand and beautiful.
now I just want to talk about the Kashmir schedule, which it's in the beginning of the film they were shooting there. Unless you're shooting in a a city, that is quite easy to make the things comfortable. If you miss something, if something is wrong, also you can just try to figure it out easily. But when you're in the mountains and in the Kashmir and all, how challenging it was for if something goes off in the how prepared you were during the spots.
I took the easy route out, honestly. I went for the look test a couple of times. We did the trials in Chennai. We set the look, and then I packed the bags and I sent Trisha and my team away. So I had two wonderful girls, Malini and Harshini, who were on the road with Trisha. They were in the Kashmir schedule with Trisha. And we were very prepared. We had everything from our gloves to our thermals to our shawls. We had everything with us, so we were very thoroughly prepared, and there was very few things that we required. But every time we required something new, they would go to the shops, the local shops where they sell these Kashmiri shawls and Kashmiri sweaters and hand knitted stuff, and my team would send me pictures. And we quite understood that what we had prepped was good, but we could make it better by getting some of the local market stuff in the costumes. And we did that. We bought a lot of local shawls. When I went for another film shoot to Kashmir, which was Rocky Rani Ki Prem Kahani, we ended up staying in the same hotel as the Leo crew. And so I met up with them, and then me, Trisha, Malini, we all went shopping. We bought more shawls. It was so we added to the wardrobe from what we already had. But though the location was remote, in terms of Trisha's wardrobe, whatever we needed, we were getting there easily. It wasn't that much of a difficulty.
Because as the character was from Kashmir, like a normal housewife thing, she got the things quite
We
easily,
get it
isn't
easily,
it?
and that's how it should be, because she's living there.
Yeah,
She her natural instinct would be to go to the market and buy what she needs. So that's exactly what we did for the character.
we know that Pallavi ma'am has designed for Thalapathy Vijay, and of course you have for Trisha ma'am. So do you guys discuss that? How that discussion happens.
Unfortunately, we did not have a discussion, but the next time around we work together, I am 100% going to have a discussion, because I also loved what she did with Vijay sir's costumes. I think the costumes are so brilliant, and I loved what Pallavi did with it. So I would love to, next film onwards, collaborate and jam more with her.
You've been, traveling with Trisha ma'am for a while now, because Ponniyin 1, 2, and also now Leo. In any kind of situation, the costume you have designed, maybe ever Trisha ma'am told me that no, please give me this costume. I'll take home. I don't want to return you.
It's quite the other way around. I feel Trisha is so comfortable in her own skin and so comfortable in her own casual clothes at home, that when we give her the costume, she's actually waiting for pack up so that she can leave the costume and go back home. So I feel Trisha is not someone who would want to, take one of those beautiful outfits home. She feels like once the picture is taken, I'm done with it.
Could you just share me one memorable moment with Trisha ma'am so far, like in all these years?
I feel for me, the most memorable moment with Trisha was the one where we did, or the first day when we did a Kundavai look test with her. Trisha had just come in, and we were meeting each other for the first time, and we were like, how are we going to make uh, Kundavai come alive? Like, it's Kundavai. How is such a difficult task going to happen? And she patiently sat there for so many hours while we tried different hairstyles to get the correct Kunda. We really put in lot many hours. We were trying to put jewelry. We were trying to put a rope and keep it standing up. We were trying to from the side take it up, from the back take it up. It was going on falling. So we really spent a lot of time trying to get her hairstyle right. Then she was patient enough when we were trying the wardrobe. I had just taken fabric and we were trying to drape fabric, and there was, she's like, where is the costume? And there was no costume, there was just fabric that we were trying to put on. um, I think she was the only one who we had the most fun with, because she, like she herself says, that she has done a minimum 100 look tests for Kundavai. And we really enjoyed uh, deciding the final outfits, because there were so many that by the end of it that we loved, that was very difficult to decide which would make it in the film and which would not.
You said in the recent award show that you have been working with Mani sir as an intern, and after a few years, you somehow managed to work in his one of the finest and biggest films so far, that it's Ponniyin Selvan 1 and 2. So could you just tell me about the whole experience? How did you got the opportunity and everything?
So I think, Marshall, I've been extremely lucky in my life. I feel I must have done something correct, that God has been kind. And, working with Mani sir was a dream, and the dream came true very early in my life. When I worked on Ravan, and my only dream was that one day I want to be a costume designer in Mani sir's film. And I genuinely thought that this will happen, but it will happen at least 10, 15 years down the line. And his very next film, I was the costume designer. So for me, that was like a dream come true, which I also couldn't imagine. I couldn't believe that it's actually happening. I was a really young, new girl from Bombay who's only worked as an intern once, and now Mani Ratnam is giving me the chance to to do costumes in his film. I feel I was so excited. I was so happy. I was so nervous. There was so much pressure that I was putting on myself at the time, because if there is one person I never want to disappoint, it's Mani sir. And from there, the collaboration with him on every film of his after Ravan, where I
Yeah.
was a costume designer, I feel I have understood him better and better, and I have tried to always give him what he imagines, because his imagination is the most beautiful imagination, and it's very difficult to give him everything that he's imagining. But that's the only thing I keep telling myself, that you cannot let Mani sir down. You cannot let Mani Ratnam down. You cannot let his dreams down. And then when Punniyin Selvan came, uh, I don't think I've ever been this nervous in my entire life for anything. It was the minute I knew we were shooting for Punniyin Selvan and Manisha's offering me the film, I was like, am I going to be able to do this? Am I going to be able to understand the culture? Am I going to be able to understand what the audiences are so obsessed about? Because it was a book that everybody already loved. For me, that love of that the people had for Punniyin Selvan before we even began shoot was a huge pressure. So for me, it was just that I kept thinking that if this is Manisha's dream, it has to become my dream, and I have to make sure that this dream is a beautiful dream. And that's exactly what we tried to do.
In somewhere, if you see the character, and if it doesn't work, the people doesn't connect to the character or something like that, that could be a backfire as well. So how challenging was to work with the film like Ponniyin Selvan?
In a film like Punniyin Selvan, where there is a lot of imagination of the people, of the audiences already, it's really important for a costume designer to give what the people are already expecting. And then you can just take it a notch higher. And you can only do this if you do your research thoroughly. And Mani sir was so certain about this in the beginning of the film itself. He said, Eka, you don't know about the subject, but the people over here, they love the subject. They take all these characters to be their own. They all have a personal relationship with these characters right through childhood. So since you are not in that world, you have to put in much more. You have to put in much more research. And he sent me to Tanjavur. He gave me researchers. He asked me to study the sculptures. He asked me to read books. And I did all of that. I saw Maniam's illustrations. I studied as much as I could about the Chola era, about the trade culture at the time, about the jewelry that was there, about the fabrics that were there. Uh, all this then helps you. It's a film at the end of the day. So, of course, you're taking liberties, but you don't take liberties in a way where it can be culturally wrong. So we've kept all of that in mind. We've kept and respected the audience's imagination in mind when we created Punniyin Selvan.
Still, till date, Ponniyin Selvan is the best film so far.
Thank
So it feels good on you.
so much.
Yeah.
It means so much to me every time I hear any appreciation for Punyan Selvan, because only I know how difficult the film was for me. It's very, today for me to sit and say how much I've enjoyed the project, the process, and how much I have put in my research and all, it's easy to say. But when we were actually doing it, every day was a really difficult day because there was so much to be done. There was so much to understand. There was so much to create. There were so many characters. There were so many look tests. It was a very, very difficult film, but it was one of the most satisfying journeys of my life.
So, when you look from outside, it look very fancy. But I just want to know how pressurizing it is. Does it pressurizing, or it's fun working for in a fashion field?
You know, I feel that when you're working with anybody, when you're working with a director, when you're working with an actor, when you're working with a star, when you're working with any client of yours, you need to treat them with the same respect that you would, like, you need to treat your directors and actors the same respect as you treat your client, and same goes for your client. You need to treat them the same way that you would treat your directors or your actors. For me, all of this falls in the way where I just need to understand what they want. I need to understand their likes. I need to understand their dislikes. I need to understand what their wardrobe is like. What kind of events do they go for? How long are they at every event that they go? Because whatever you're wearing, it has to meet not only the criteria of a good look, but it has to be relevant to the event. It has to be comfortable for you to be able to sustain for that many number of hours. It has to look good. It has to picture well. It shouldn't wrinkle when you're at the event. It needs to look perfect, at least for the pictures. But at the same time, at the end of the day, your client needs to be happy with the outfit. Your client needs to be comfortable with the outfit, and that's what I keep in mind. So more than creating iconic looks, or more than creating a look that will make everybody go like, "Wow, this is the next new trend, and we are going to follow this," it's my constant effort to just make sure that it's a good look and my actor is really comfortable in it.
Result, because every youngster in Chennai, or I think believe in other part of the world, also fell in love with Kundavi for sure.
The dolls that were made out of Kundavai, and people used to send me pictures of these Kundavai dolls. Brides were dressing up as Kundavai.
Those
Um,
kids were small kids were doing the recreating the scenes of Kundavi also.
and it felt so special. It was, it really felt good when I saw these things, and especially when somebody once told me that it's Kundavai's jewelry or Kundavai's sari colors are the colors that the brides of the next season are going to use, and I was like, wow, we've done some magic. Finally, I believe that yes, we've what all our hard work is paying.
I mean, the Leo shooting spot, did you got an opportunity to meet Thalapathy in person, sit with him, talk to him for a 5 or 10 minutes? Is there something happen like that?
So
Thalapathy Vijay?
unfortunately, like I said, I hadn't gone for the Kashmir schedule, or I hadn't gone to the shoot. I had my team that was traveling because I was involved in another film shoot in Bombay.
Yeah.
But I did end up going for the Rocky Rani ki Prem Kahani to Kashmir, and where Trisha, me, my team, Malini and Harshini, ended up meeting Karan Johar because even he was living in the same hotel, and we have taken a picture which we kind of posted. But apart from that, unfortunately, I couldn't spend much time with the crew.
And then we know that you've been predominantly working with Bollywood stars. You have worked with most of the people like Ranveer, Karan Johar, and a lot of people. But could you just name one stars from the South, from the Collywood, one actor and actress whom you really want to work with?
I want to
Yeah.
really work with Nayantara. I want to really work with Samantha. Um, I want to really work with Talapathy Vijay sir. I really feel I think these are all dreams of mine, and I really hope they come true soon.
And of course, we want to see the Kamal Hassan with totally different zone, because these people, this Mani sir and Kamal sir, has been uniting after so many years, and they have already given a cult, and you are again part of one beautiful project. You're quite
I'm very
lucky somewhere, man.
I know. I'm very lucky. I just feel that this is going to be a really, really special film. The two legends uniting again. And whereas I haven't started work on the film as of now, I'm really excited to see what we create. And I'm very excited with the fact that I'll be working on another Mani Ratnam film, which is going to be his other dream project.
Then all the best for that as well. And thank you so much for connecting. Thanks you so much for your time. And yeah, ma'am. Thank you very
Thank you.
much. Lots of love from Chennai.
Nandri.